All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Unit Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it's to talk about that big one. And I don't mean that one, I mean another big one. That is the Spurs versus Arsenal game. And boy, I ain't gonna lie, it's about that time. It's about the time when North London gets a bit tense. You know, shit gets locked down, shit gets serious. And I ain't gonna lie to you, as a North Londoner, you know this. I live born and bred smack bang in the middle of these two towns. This is it's always a tense time. It's always a serious time because this is a big game. You know that this is a game where you enter, you know, you just get into that militant mindset. And part of it, sure, could be the fact that I'm also looking forward to the big UFC card that is happening tomorrow. And I'll be talking with Ola and a guest that comes on with us at 9 o'clock. Where I'll be breaking down that card. So if you're a UFC fan, stay tuned to that at 9 o'clock. But getting back to the football, I'm going to lie to you. This is one of them times where, under no circumstances, no matter how poor of form we're in, this is the one game where twice a season, at the very least, you get up for it. And that's why you ain't going to really see me talk too much shit about the fact that Spurs are not in the greatest form themselves. They lost to Burnley upon Harry Kane's return, seemingly turned shit upside down for them because they were playing pretty well. I think they just found a way of getting used to playing without him. Then he suddenly came back slightly ahead of schedule. Because I remember when he initially got injured, he was supposed to be back off until March. And then he suddenly made a return like a couple of weeks ago. And they ended up scoring first. And they lost 2-1 to Burnley, which, it's always nice when Spurs lose. But the other thing about it is, which I found quite interesting, is actually they lost again to Chelsea. And, I saw people doing things, saying all this stuff like, oh, well, when Chelsea beat them and then Arsenal beat them, Arsenal be 1 point. I'm like, all right, you're talking about a Chelsea team who haven't been in the greatest of confidence. But what I underestimated is actually Chelsea gave a really good account of themselves against City, minus all the nonsense between Kepa and the manager. Take all that out of it. They actually kept a really stubborn account of themselves. It looks like Sarri, at the very least, will keep his job until the end of the season because it's just started. It looks as though he's starting to turn a corner with Chelsea. He got a really good result against Spurs. If anything has kept his job, it's that. And now all of a sudden, Spurs find themselves thinking, hold on, only 4 points ahead of Arsenal now. And if Arsenal can somehow do a miracle, then we'll be 1 point behind them. I'm going to lie, we're going back and forth. Can we win this? In theory, we're in better form than these guys. They've lost their last couple of games. We've won our last couple of games. We look and it's not just the fact that we've won, but I think it's how we've won. I thought the Southampton, and I said it in my preview, I said it in my player ratings, and I'll say it again. I thought the Southampton game was an impressive game. We just didn't have the goals to show for it. Whereas on Wednesday, we played Bournemouth. We had the performance and we had the goals in us. But this is where it really counts because forget the fact for a second it's North London. Apart from the fact it's them, and you want to beat them. Quite honestly, we need to drag as many people into this top four battle as possible. I'd rather fight for I'd rather fight against 3 other teams for 2 places than 2 other teams for 1 place, to be perfectly honest. I like those odds better. So I think if we can beat Spurs, then of course we've dragged them into the dogfight, and 4 into 2 can't go. And I fancy us, if it's 2 places available, I fancy us getting one of them. So let's see. Let's see what happens. We just got to keep fighting, keep scrapping, and hope for the best. And the best way of doing that is by beating these motherfuckers. Beating these motherfuckers. It's Spurs. It is Spurs. You know what these guys are like. You know what they're like. They're Spurs. You know they're going to raise their game. I don't care how shit they've been up until now. They're going to raise their game tomorrow. And we don't do well when it comes to lunchtime kickoffs. So we need to switch the fuck on quick. Quick. No bullshit. None of this Santa Claus nonsense. Not for these lot. Not for these lot. So for me, my pick isn't so much based on form, because I think form goes out the window. It's based on who I can trust to deliver a good performance. Now, again, people, whenever you give ratings 1 to 11s, people start talking shit. And they start saying, oh, you're mad for X reason. You're mad for this reason. I'm mad for that reason. Don't argue. Just tell me what your 11 would be. This is what I would do. These are the 11 that I would trust to start the game against Spurs, because in all honesty, we need 11 people to fight. Fight and be stubborn. I don't care if you're going to their ground. This ain't their ground. Oh yeah, I've heard it called the Spurn about and all that type of bullshit. This is Wembley. You can beat these fuckers at Wembley. Go there and beat them. So with that being said, this will be the 11 that I put out to beat Spurs. I'll go Leno in goal. I ain't even going to explain it because you should already know. Leno goes in goal. Right back, oh man, I've deliberated and deliberated and deliberated. Jenkinson gets it. But Lichtsteiner is, I wouldn't say he's the better player, but he's on form and maybe there's an argument that he should play. I'm going to go for Carl Jenkinson. He's a limited basic player. I hear you. But I think he's a right back. I think he's reasonably quick. I think if they decide to put Ali on him for whatever reason, or even switch Son to that side of things, then at least we'll have players that are able to. We'll have a right back who's able to keep up. I've just got this horrible feeling if Lichtsteiner plays, and I expect him to play, we're going to concede a goal or two. So for me, this is just my opinion. I play Carl Jenkinson because I think he's dependable enough and he will get it. He will get it. I honestly, forget the fact, sometimes you got to forget abilities. Not all the way, but sometimes, right? He will get it. He will get it. He's a North London. He's a North London is in at heart. I believe legitimately he cares about the club. He's probably one of the very few players I genuinely believe the club means something to him. And I don't see him letting us down in that situation. I don't think he'll play. I think Lichtsteiner will play, but this is what I would do. So Carl Jenkinson would be my right back. In defence, I'm going Lauren Koscielny. I know what I said about form, but you can't ignore form of what? 2 months at least of solid games for Koscielny. You best believe, I know he had I know his knee got trampled on. Trust me, that ain't keeping him out of this game. If you're a real leader, if you're a real vet of a club, derby games are not ones you miss. And he'll be there for this one. So you best believe Koscielny will make this. You gosh damn right I'm putting Socrates in this team. Socrates will be on this team. He will relish that battle with Kane. It's amazing to me, but not surprising to me that Harry Kane is even allowed to play in this game. If it was anyone else who did what he did or did what he attempted to do, just for the intent, my one would have been banned for 3 games. But because it's England's darling. So anyway, I think that Socrates will relish the battle. And I relish seeing him in that battle. So Socrates plays. Come on, Paps, you got this. Left back. People ain't going to like this choice. I'm going to go with Monreal. I know a lot of people are going with Kolasinac. I get it. He has been in good form, but he's only been in good form for the last couple of games. I want someone I could trust in that position. And I wouldn't go 5 at the back, even though I suspect Emery will. But I would go with 4 at the back. And I think if you go with that 4 and you want to go with someone who's dependable at left back in that 4, you go with Monreal. So Monreal's my guy. In central midfield, I'm going with Granit Xhaka and Lucas Torreira. I mean, I don't really need to explain that to you guys, do I? I like Guendouzi, but come the fuck on. Come the fuck on. Okay, so here's where it gets to the business end of things. I can't believe I'm going to actually say this. I'm going to play Henrik Mkhitaryan at right back. He's been, like I say, I think form goes out the window, but sometimes when form has been sustained for a period of time, you have to pay attention. And Mickey has been in fantastic form. And he's slowly getting my trust. Slowly. Ever so slowly. Let's see. Because I still believe there's as Scal would say, I still believe there's a little bit of a kebab boy in there. But he's slowly getting my trust. So, yeah, Henrik Mkhitaryan. Again, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I play the superstar. I actually play the superstar. I really would play him. Yeah, I would play him. I know he didn't play earlier in the season and we won. But Mesut Ozil tends to play reasonably well against Spurs. He does. The only other one that does tend to play well against Spurs, and I've left him out of the team, is Mustafi. Mustafi's another one that tends to have really good games against Spurs. But I've decided to leave him out just because I think it'd be mad to break up the partnership of Koscielny and Socrates. They're our 2 best defenders. So to me, I think the superstar plays. I play him. Let's see what he's got. Let's see if he's about this life. I know Ramsey also is another one who played quite well against Spurs and would be probably trusted in this game. And I've got a feeling he may play Ramsey instead of Ozil in this game. I've got a feeling Ozil's going to start from the bench and piss a lot of fans off. But I'm going to start the superstar in this game. On the left-hand side, I ain't starting Aubameyang. I'm starting Alex Iwobi. Another one who people forget is one of our own. Another one who is a North London boy, started with us and gets this game. You know, like gets this game. And much to people's annoyance and what people don't like to hear, he's been one of our best players. He's been one of our best players. Yes, hugely frustrating player, but also one of our best players, especially when you look at, I know people like talk about assists and statistics when it comes to Ozil. Go and have a look at Iwobi's statistics and then tell me something. I think we'll get it. And I think where counter-attacks could be key, someone like Iwobi who likes taking on a man could be important. And that's why I've opted for Mkhitaryan and Iwobi, because one thing I would say for both of them is when they get the ball, their first thought is right. Move forward. Both of them. Because I don't say this often about Mickey as well, but his first action is, how can I take this forward? And that's what I like about what they both do. And I think we could be having to play on the counter-attack a lot. You know, Emery likes going pragmatic with these type of games. So I think their dribbling skills and their skills to take on a man is going to be crucial in this game. Especially because I think if Ozil does play, Ozil will be dropping back a lot to almost quarterback this team. I hate using American terms for football, but just stay with me. he may need to quarterback this team. So if that's the case, Iwobi and Mkhitaryan's running on the ball and off the ball is going to be crucial in our attack. And so that's why I've gone with this. Now, this is where I get controversial. I've gone back and forth and back and forth. Lacazette doesn't start for me. I know. It's starting for me. Actually, the person that starts for me is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Hold on. Let me tell you why I've opted for this before you lose your shit. All right? Now, for me, and I think in this type of game, yes, Lacazette is a big game player. And yes, I think there's an opportunity for him to come on and really cause havoc. Here's the thing. I've heard people talk about the fact that the last 20 minutes could be crucial because Aubameyang is the type of player to make an impact in the game when he comes on. He doesn't often do that against big teams. And I think in a game where we're going to be playing on a counter-attack a lot, I think his pace from the outset is going to be crucial. Because Spurs, they're playing as Valderweijl and Vertonghen. These are two good defenders. They're not particularly slow. And yeah, they're getting older, but they're not, I wouldn't call them old either. So talking about Aubameyang coming on in the last 20 when they're tired, I don't think is a valid argument. For me, I think Aubameyang tiring the fuck out of them during the course of the game by just doing a lot of off-the-shoulder running, spinning, arcing his run. I hope he's learned that art a little bit. One thing I'll give Van Persie is that he was amazing at arcing his run. And if Aubameyang can add that little arc to his game, just stretch that game so that when someone like a Lacazette comes on, last half an hour, 20 minutes where we might need him in a tight game, there'll be opportunities for him when they are tired, and opportunities do present itself. I think I get the logic of Lacazette working them, but I think because we're going to be on the counter-attack, I don't expect us to have that much of the ball. We're away from home on a big Wembley pitch. I think there's going to be opportunities early on for an Aubameyang to stretch that defence. Whereas with Lacazette, he can come on when we need him and make an impact. And we saw something similar to that against Southampton against Bournemouth. So let's see what happens. I know people will react badly to that one. I know there's logic to my madness. This is the way I would go. This is how I genuinely believe we beat these fuckers. I know logic dictates you make them work hard and then you bring on the pace of Aubameyang. But actually, I would do it the other way around. But Aubameyang must work hard. He must. I'd start Aubameyang and run them into the fucking ground. And then in the give Lacazette about half an hour or so to come on and do his thing and wreak havoc. Because I trust Lacazette in the last 30 minutes to make good of some chances and put them away. Aubameyang ain't the great finisher. I don't care what anyone tells me. I know he scored 16 goals. I'll argue it to the death. He's not a great finisher. Whereas in the last half an hour, I'm more likely to trust the Lacazette to finish goals, to finish the ball. So that's my logic. There is logic to my madness, I promise you. You guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, please crush, please destroy, please drop kick the shit out of that like button. I appreciate it when you guys do that. It's Spurs, man. We've got to take something out of this. I don't think we'll lose this game. In my heart of hearts, I don't think we'll win this game. But I hope and pray that I'm wrong about us not winning this game. Because if we win this game, even I'll start to fucking believe we can finish above these fuckers. Even I'll start to believe. And then all you Emery out motherfuckers, I'm going to find each and every single one of you and say something now. Say something now. So, yeah. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. I always reply whenever you guys leave a comment, so make sure you do that. I'll be back straight after the game on Saturday. I say straight after the game, 3 o'clock on Saturday, where I'll be doing a review show with Lee, with Ola, and with a special debutant guest. So don't miss that. And the best way of not missing that, by hitting the subscribe button, hitting that notification bell, or following me on Twitter at Colossal Chig. Follow me on Instagram, Guna_Eagle_I1. Or you can support the show through Guna_Eagle_I. I think that's everything. Come on, Arsenal. You got this. I'm out of here. Deuces.